Burn Racing, but Mantis Burn Racing Battle Cars, the DLC. And what does Battle Cars do? Well, I'll tell you, my friend. Dude, Mantis Burn Racing is a top-down racing game.
Yep.
It's more chaotic. It's more along the lines of like, I'm gonna smash this dude out my way to land that first place to pull ahead. It's like Mario Kart without the weapons.
Yeah.
Well, now they got the weapons. Dude, I'm digging the hell out of this thing, man.
It's a good thing too. You're not even to cut you off. It's a great thing that this came out because it actually added more modes to the game.
Yeah. It's an expansion of the gameplay and of the repertoire of car augmentations.
Yeah. I didn't like the upgrading system. I thought it was a little weird. I just thought it lacked, but the Battle Car DLC added so much more to this game that actually was lacking in DLC like in the beginning.
Well, I do think the augmentations were a bit excessive, but that's because like with this type of game, it's a combat racing game. For anyone familiar with that genre, it's the style of racing where your object isn't just to pull ahead of the other racers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm faster, I'm better at drifting around corners and such. It's I took this dude out by knocking him into guardrails. I get points for destruction.
Yep.
I get weapons on the car.
You can compile your points. Like if you drift, knock a dude out. That's like a combination of points, so you get like a set amount of experience for that.
Exactly.
So
games
it's really
like
good.
Burnout. Ridge Racer Unbounded.
Yep.
I think a couple of
wow, Ridge Racer, Jesus.
Ridge Racer,
Ridge Racer.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Rage Racer was the shiz. I love Rage Racer because your cars could flip upside down and keep driving.
Yeah.
Also, all the tunnels were like you could drive up the walls.
Yeah.
And just I'm driving on the ceiling like this is the shit. And then you drop down on them like death from above. That was a racing. That was awesome. On the subject of Mantis Burn Racing, though, this was kind of this had more of a retro feel. We were talking about it before the show, and it was definitely bringing up memories of I said the first Grand Theft Auto, which you had actually never played.
Yeah, I did it, man. That's weird because my first experience was like I said, Grand Theft Auto 3, and then I went back to Grand Theft Auto 2 and 1, and I was just like I couldn't get to it. But it's not like I never played. Like obviously we grew up in the era where we, the graphics were.
Yeah, no, you'd move past it by then.
What I mean?
That's not your fault that you suck.
But my favorite Top View racer was Hot Wheels. Thank you. That was my favorite one. I used to play the hell out of that game.
I remember that. No, actually, the first thing I thought of, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. The first thing I thought of when I saw this sucker was the top-down point of view, and also the way you go around the corners and it's kind of loose steering, and then you can like bop cars out of your way. First thing I thought of, because I'm also extra old, RC Pro-Am.
Yeah.
For the NES.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it looks like that game, the Micro Machines Racers games. Yep.
Wait, do you have the video up on Twitch?
It's on. It's playing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hopefully you're watching us with the review on twitch.tv/the Geek Down. You can actually see the visual of what we're talking about. Because Mantis Burn Racing, one thing that let's actually get to the proper review.
Yeah.
Because I like the gameplay in general as just a straight racing game.
Yeah.
When it got to the battle elements, that's where it actually started to lose me.
Okay.
Stuff felt more tacked on than adding to the versatility in the gameplay, to the enjoyment period.
No, it was vice versa for me. I just thought it added more content to the game because the game came out like in early March of this year, and it just lacked DLC. Because you know what the other thing about this game that I don't like it lacks diversity in mapping and like levels. Because it's like you get a day and night mode of each map, and there's like so many maps. The one thing I liked about the game, one of the major things I liked about the game was a lot of different modes: sprint mode, time trial, knockout mode.
I like that too conceptually, but it reminded me of, and I'm not sure if you ever played this, and how many people did. There was a Speed Racer racing game.
No, I never played a Speed Racer. No.
For the back when it was PSX. Well, okay, it was a game set in the Speed Racer universe. You play racers from the Speed Racer cartoon, the comics and stuff, and it should have been the greatest thing ever. The problem was they put everything they had into the licensing. So you have all the characters, you have Snake Oiler, you have Speed himself, you have Racer X, all that, and the actual cars. You have the Mach 5.
Yeah, but the game was garbage, I bet.
The game itself, no,
mechanically the game was probably
the racing
horrible.
was okay, and they did what they could with the different weaponry and a Speed Racer game for the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So that limited technology, they still used it to the fullest. The problem is the tracks were garbage because you only had one track. One track for the whole game, and how it worked is you race on this one track. You win to a certain level, and then you unlock an extra turn off on this track.
Yeah.
So it's not like the track expands and gets bigger and bigger. This is a turn you couldn't make before, but now you're level 3. Now you can make this turn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now you can go around this level. And it's just you beat the same track over and over again. Now you can do it a little quicker because you have a shortcut.
Yeah.
You know, or you have a faster car so you can break through this wall that before was marked as under construction.
Yeah.
And it's just, how many times
can you play the same track
over and over again? I got that sense from this. It's like
Yeah,
all the
same.
tracks
I
are
agree
far
with
too
that.
similar. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but I'm saying this is exactly why that bugged the crap out of me.
And then you would have thought through the DLC they would have added more tracks, and they didn't. And that was the most aggravating thing about this. Like, how are you going to release more content and not add more levels? Like, if you want the game to survive, and mind you, like, this game is really good.
Oh yeah, no, the
Like,
game is enjoyable
it's fun
in itself
until you play it for like 2 days straight, and you realize that this is going to be the same levels and the same, just the same laps and the same. It was just too repetitive after a while. It just the repetition was too much.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke, brother.
So with watching this video, I didn't see any like battle-y stuff happening.
That was just the video of Mantis and racing. Like it's the core game, and then the DLC came out. See,
what the DLC adds is the DLC adds a couple extra cars, and the DLC gives those cars that exist in the game weapons.
Yep.
So each one of those, as you're racing, you have machine guns. You can shoot the previous cars. You have defensive weapons. You can blow them up, or you can throw them off the track. Stuff
on
like
the
that.
DLC cars.
In the DLC, when you get the DLC,
the DLC adds to all the cars.
All the cars. Okay, all right.
Yeah. The
and
DLC cars.
There's 3 different class cars, like small, heavy, medium, heavy.
Yeah, essentially your speed class, your 10 class.
What the DLC does is the game was just about racing, doing different types of styles, like mixing different, like a drift into a knockout gets you extra points and experience. Mm-hmm. And then as you unlock different game modes and stuff as you progress, there's different ways you can play the game, and just you exhaust everything. The battle cars actually added the element which made it more fun to me, honestly. But what I didn't like about what they added was like it got generic really quick. Like the weaponry wasn't enough. Like you just got like that one tank gun and that's it. Like you didn't get something. Like I would have appreciated like a cluster bomb or something.
Yeah, dude, if they had gone full on Contra with the sucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like a red shell or a mushroom or some sort.
Well, here's encroaching. Stop. Here's what I noticed. Tell me if you got this too. The weapons didn't really help with the racing aspect, with the difficulty of the AI. It was all the exact same level. They didn't have different levels of racers. It's just like everyone blows past you at every start of every race, and then you have to catch up to the pack, and they're all the same. There's no variation, you know?
And I think that's why they did the DLC battle cars, because like you know how you when you start the match, like each lap that you start each match, you can't use the gun until the first checkpoint.
Yeah.
So like the guy's like booking on you, and as soon as you hit that checkpoint, he's like, "All right, let me even this out." Boom.
Well, I thought that seemed like a mechanic to maintain a level of I don't know, like uniformity in different types of racers. So it's like you're not being blown away by someone who's just better at the game than you are. Also to facilitate multiplayer racing. So when this gets to the level of we got several hundred people online to choose from. You get like 8 characters in this race, and you're just with different like human players, not just AIs.
Yeah.
So you all can't just
dominate.
Exactly. There's no like Zerg rushing.
Did you get a chance to play it with multiplayer online? Did you?
I didn't, unfortunately. No.
I actually did. Yeah, I did. It was actually cool. I sucked, but I'm not gonna say I was the champion.
Know your limitations. It's good that you stay in your lane.
I didn't both Mad Max
literally
this.
and figuratively. So when you a jive sucker, you need to race for other jive suckers. And I applaud you, my man, for acknowledging how mediocre and weak your skills are. It takes a big man to realize how small he really is.
So speaking of that
you can come across the world, the internet, the World Wide Web, and let people know that you're weak sauce, son. That you're lame, and you acknowledge, that you kowtow.
I think he's going off this little competitiveness thing between me and him. We'll let it ride for
all right. So the online stuff, did they, since this is like fundamentally different gameplay tied to DLC?
Yeah. It's not that different. It added a couple of elements, but
it sounds like they're splitting up the audience, right? If you don't buy the DLC, you cannot participate with all the other people that have the battle.
See, what was weird about it is like they should have allowed people, because what the game lacked from in the beginning was lack of content, and a lot of people liked it at first, praising it. Like the average, like I looked online, the average rating for this was about a 7 or 8. You know, if you want to go across board with numbers,
which I do think is a little unfair.
Why so?
I think it's a little unfair because it's not really taking into account that this game is built primarily off of a nostalgia factor. You know, they don't really make these types of games anymore.
Yeah,
so you can't gauge it just like any other game. Like this technically should be gauged against any of the Burnout games. And I would.
Burnout's a different element though. Like
Burnout, it's combat racing though. It's combat racing, and this is expanding into that realm. And at its crux, that's what this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Even in the standard Mantis Burn racing game, you brutalize the other cars. You don't have direct weapons, but that's your goal. It's not just I'm faster than you, and I'm faster than you, and I was, I deboed you into the guardrail. I deboed you off this cliff. You know,
agreed.
So it's just like this is still a game that is coming from the top-down perspective, which is most games aren't played. Most racing games, aren't really designed like that anymore. So this is really targeting those.
Because most racing games nowadays are simulations, and it takes the fun out of the game. Like you don't have to get like a license. You have to play this game for like the first 15, 20 hours, like the first 10 hours. You have to license yourself in order for you to unlock extra numerous.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's what I enjoyed. Like you dived right in, but they needed more content from the rip. And what they did, I don't know if you looked it up. They released free content towards the beginning. Like the first round of DLC that came out was free. They added like a snow level, which was cool, and I thought that was pretty neat. And then the second DLC content just added more cars, which I thought was a little cheesy because they didn't add any more maps. I think the only thing this game suffers from is just lack of maps. And other than that, I think it'd be great. And personally, like I told you before, I thought it would be great on a handheld.
Yeah, you did mention that, and I agree with you there because the style of gameplay would really mesh well to a smaller screen, to quicker action, and then something you can just take on the go.
Yeah, I could spend hours on this on the train.
Definitely. I think that's... Well, hold on. Also, this is just the first DLC, and it's available on multiple systems. Who's to say they won't eventually carry over to Nintendo Switch?
Yep. Ported over,
Keep doing that, yeah.
It's because he doesn't have one.
Seems like a good fit. It does. Maybe even if they pull back the camera way back, like they did in the RC Racer Pro or whatever it's called.
Bro,
how the camera was
RC Pro Am.
Pro Am,
man.
And
it's not. We're not that old.
The camera covered the entire track in that game, right? So you saw everything. So maybe if they do something like that, that would probably warm the socks
and warm the
sky
socks.
level view.
And also too, like just variety. But you know what? A variety in cars too. That pissed me off. Like all the cars look the same. DLC, new car, big gun on the same car that I was playing with in a while.
It's slightly purple instead of slightly orange on with one streak down there.
I got the fuchsia color, bro. You ain't
That's the one.
Fuchsia enough on the track.
That's the one.
It's like, what you got? I got a tank class. Still can't go around corners.
Tangerine, bro.
And I would recommend cats play this, but it's fairly cheap. It's not. It's like $3.
It's not bad. You can get it across platform. The DLC is like $2, $3.
I would recommend playing it on. Like we played it for console, but I would recommend playing it for Steam.
Yeah,
because it's more of a quick action game, and you want to be able to jump online real quick. I don't imagine more people are playing this online on consoles than they would be on Steam. I got to give it a thumbs up, but thumbs up if you play it on Steam, because then you can represent, and it's a quick action game. You'll probably have 100 other Steam games to get to too. So dude, thumbs up all the way.
I want to give them a thumbs up, but I want to give them a thumbs down because if they did attack the portable, if they attacked the portable market, they would have made a chunk of change on this.
Oh, thumbs up and thumbs down, probably.
Yeah, so like
no, not both. Not both. You can't do that.
I'll give it a thumbs up. You know what? I'll give it a thumbs up because I actually enjoyed playing it, so I'll definitely give it a thumbs up. But somehow, some way, hopefully down the road they'll release it on a portable platform, and I guarantee this game will make numbers.
Yeah, this is just the first DLC. They got time.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, so it's the game is called Mantis Burn Racing. This is the Battle Cars DLC. 2 thumbs up. It's available from Vufu
Developers.
Vufu Studios.
And you can get on Xbox, PS4, Steam,
and
PC. Yep.
That's correct. All right, now I'm going to kick it over to man, just Johnny, because you got to play another game, my friend.